You need people to be able to help run the systems, organize the systems, stay on top of it, making sure that you have the systems in place, the basic systems. It's like the basic grill.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Quickfire Marketing. I'm your host, E.T. Mac, and today I have a very special guest, my friend and brother from another mother, Alex Cox. We previously worked together at UPSANI, but he was also run marketing and revenue at companies like People AI, Nutanix, and a couple other gigs. Alex, how about you walk us through how to scale up your Rev Ops team?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first off, thank you, ET, for having me on your podcast today. Excited to go through Rev Ops, Marketing Ops, Sales Ops, all that good stuff, right? I know a lot of those are they fall in different places amongst your go-to-market org, but I know that today we wanted to bring in a little bit of a fun model, right? I love to cook. ET, I know you love to grill as well.
Yeah, actually, fun fact, when I started getting into barbecue smoking, Alex was actually the first person there for me. Got me started with like your necessary items over here. Didn't get me this apron, but I thought I'd show it off. But you know, it was a good time.
Absolutely. So, I know that you and I were discussing, all different size grills, and, we're kind of equivalenting grills to different stages of startups, right? Right off the bat, the kind of the first beginner grill that you start off with is usually a charcoal grill, right? One of those, black Weber ones where, you just take charcoal, you kind of light it, let it get hot, and then you're able to grill with it. Really basic for your kind of like hamburgers, hot dogs. It does the basic foundation needs. And the way that I think about that also is the basic foundation needs that you would need from, kind of the small startups, the seed, the Series A's. And what that includes is, your basic CRMs, Salesforce, HubSpots of the world. At the very beginning stages of startups, you need some systems. And then also some of the personnel. You need people to be able to help run the systems, organize the systems, stay on top of it, make sure that the reporting is coming out correctly, making sure that you have the systems in place, the basic systems. It's like the basic grill, very basic, very foundational. And then you build off of that.
What point do you feel comfortable, right? Like, are we thinking, hey, we haven't had any issues, or is it more the goals are getting a little aggressive for us that we need to scale it up? I'm sure it's a little mix of both, but like, what's some leading indicators you notice?
Totally. So, as companies grow and scale, especially, within your RevOps space, you're going to see challenges. Things may break. Things may become more complex. You may be building out on the marketing side more complex campaigns and activities. And that's when you need to start to scale, right? So you're going from your charcoal grill, like I said, it's your basic, CRM package, lead routing, just to get the job done. Then you kind of are scaling up to your next level grill. Think about like the stainless steel, silver, metal gas grill. It could do your hot dogs, it can do your hamburgers, but it can also do chicken. It can also do your vegetables. It's bigger, right? And the reason why you need to scale up to, that gas grill is because you need more room. You need more, capabilities at the end of the day. Marketing is going to do more activities. You're going to start to build out more channels. And then from your side, the sales side, you're starting to scale your sales team.
Yeah. I mean, on the sales side, like when you start scaling up your marketing operations and getting all these systems in place, your sales team becomes more competent. They're going to start consuming this content and sending it out it's like systematic. It's like automatic. They're consuming it too fast. So you almost need more indicators to things to give to the sales team to kind of keep them happy a little bit. Like things like intent. We're moving to intent data. That's almost like if we're talking to barbecue, you're introducing different kinds of mustard because no one wants like the regular Heinz mustard anymore. They want their like Grey Poupon. You just got to have some different twists because now we're getting deeper in personalization. Intent data allows us to kind of see different indicators of what the ICPs and prospects are looking for. And the salespeople want to capitalize that. And they're like, hey, this guy hates ketchup. Don't give him a burger with ketchup. And he loves Grey Poupon and pickles. Weird, but I'll do it. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah.
And I think like as you scale, right, you're talking about that medium-sized grill, the gas grill. It's larger. So you're doing things from an operations standpoint. You're doing account mapping. You're doing lead scoring. So you want to make sure that you're feeding the leads to your sales team at the right time. So it's not just like a brand new lead. Maybe they've interacted with you once, but they're not ready for a meeting, right? And so there's the account mapping. It's making sure that the leads are going to the right reps in the right territory. Then, there's that intent side that you're saying from an ABM. You want to make sure that the ABM accounts that you're going from, that you're doing all these different marketing activities to, that all the routing, the activities are matching with your sales, right? Because the sales team wants to go after the same accounts and close those same accounts as well, because they are within your ICP. That's something that you're doing at this medium size as well. And you want to make sure you have the right team, the personnel. This is probably when you start to scale your team. There's a head of marketing ops, there's a head of sales ops, and they're trying to keep both of these teams under the go-to-market, umbrella happy. And then they'll have some people underneath them that are helping integrate tools, helping making sure that leads are getting tagged and uploaded correctly, making sure that meetings and attribution and revenue and pipeline are all flowing correctly. So then you can report on that as well. So you're going from a charcoal grill basic to silver, stainless steel gas grill. And then there's sort of the next step up, which I think we should get into, which is that kind of that more offset smoker that you traditionally see.
No, 100% agree. This is like the earlier stage you are, you just want to get it set up and get it out there. But the more advanced you get and more sophisticated you can get your systems. And when you get to something like a smokers know how to do things like brisket. And so if you're inviting people over to a barbecue and you just put the meat on, a brisket on an hour before they showed up, it's never going to happen, right? You got to have some forethought. You got to have some planning. You got to have the ability and the team around you to kind of support that as well, which is your marketing ops, your sales ops. The timing becomes more crucial and critical because you're like, hey, I understand what everybody wants. Some people are rare, some people are medium rare, but some people want the point in the flat, which is like the dry part of the brisket or the really fatty part of the brisket. And you got to be able to space it out and also time it where when they show up, it's ready. It's not dry. It's perfect. And, all the condiments are there as well. We got like the pickled onions. Everyone's having a good time.
And to kind of add to that, ET, for people that don't know what offset smoker is, it's sort of the large black looking metal cylinder type of grill. That's so you guys know is that what ET is saying is there's all different types of meats on there, and all different types of meats cook at different temperatures. It's the same thing as you get to that super complex revenue ops organization, right? And I've seen, at Nutanix, where we had a marketing operations manager who just helped with channel programs, that just helped with field marketing to make sure that there wasn't any misses, right? That there wasn't any like meat being burned or overcooked, that we were making sure that the leads from every single activity, since we're running activities at such a large scale, were being properly lead scored, were being properly followed up, were being properly mapped, and then properly reported on. And it's the same thing with, your sales ops team, is making sure those leads get followed up with correctly, that the amount of touches that are going into them correctly, from the inside sales org to the AEs, to the meetings being booked, to the opportunities being created. All these touch points are so critical for a revenue operations team to have, so that everyone can come back at the end of the quarter and say, look at all the great work we've done as a team. And I think that's probably one of the best things you will see is, look at all the great work we're doing, as like a whole like chef cooking crew. That's the way that I look at it, is you've got the chef that's doing the mops work, you got the chefs that are doing the sales ops work, all rolling up to the head of Rev Ops. And it's just like a beautiful song being played at the end of the day when everything is flowing through correctly. But that's like the most complex you will see from like a revenue operations standpoint, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I mean, working with you, Alex, I learned the biggest thing is when you're in sales and you want to know if your marketing team or Rev Ops team is working, it's almost like a barbecue. Like you don't necessarily know they're there. You could smell it in the neighborhood. Like you're just walking around, you're like, who's cooking? Oh, it's Alex, right? It's the marketing Rev Ops team.
Totally. Well, I think we painted a good picture for our followers. Hopefully they're not too hungry at the end of this. I know that this is making me a little bit hungry, but AT, thank you so much for having me today on your podcast, and just excited to hear the feedback from anyone listening as well.
Yeah, totally. And again, guys, you can find us wherever podcasts are found. Again, thank you so much for Alex hopping on. If you guys need any Rob support, please follow him on his LinkedIn, Alex Cox. We'll add that in the link as well. And yeah, cheers to more episodes. You look jacked, dude. These are the shoulders you need to carry. Alex has the shoulders you need to carry marketing and sales ops. That's Rev Ops shoulders right there, dude. Like if you're like this, you're like a hunchback. This is like a marketing ops or a sales ops. You just like this. Jeez.
You just no neck.
Yeah.